What's up and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast for episode number 299. Wonder. Damn, bro slapped himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
My eyes are very, very irritated at the moment.
Do you have
They're
like a fire
red.
call?
No. I was working on a. I don't know how well versed you are with ovens, but have you ever had the liberty of using like one of those big steamer ovens?
No.
Yeah, so they're handy, like when you need to cook a lot of food or something like that in a hurry. So on camp, they have an oven. It's a Rational, I think is what it's called. But anyway, it's like, I don't know, 6.5 foot tall. Big oven. And I started working on this stupid ass oven in July. But I mean, this company should pay me as a technician, because I'm pretty much an expert when it comes to this oven now, because I have literally replaced pretty much everything on it.
Nice.
What originally happened was there's a because it's a gas oven, but it also has water that can get heated up to like 400 and some 500 degrees or something like that. Well, there's a rubber hose that supplies the water to the pumps that then pumps water into the oven, and you can use it to steam cook, or you can just cook regularly like an oven. It offers a bunch of different ways to cook food, and this hose apparently seems to be a reoccurring issue, because the 500 degree boiling water that goes through it eventually eats away the hose to where it's like paper thin, and then it springs a leak. Well, that was what I originally got called on, and I had never touched one of these ovens before. I'm not necessarily known as the appliance guy. So I was like, I'll, dig into it, see what I can find. So I take the side panel off, and right away I'm like, oh, it's this hose that's leaking. And so I order the hose, which took forever to get there. Finally get the hose, and when you go to take the hose off, all of the water that's still in the pump drains out and just goes everywhere, which is quite a bit of water. And nothing I can do about that. And put the new hose on, and I'm like, fuck, wrong hose. It was too short. I'm like, well, how in the hell did I get how does the short too short? I don't understand what I did wrong ordering the hose. So then I got to digging in a little farther. Well, apparently they make the same oven, except it's about half the size of the one that I am working on. So I'm like, well, shit, I didn't know they made smaller ones. And so then I was like, okay, well, so I set that part back, figured out which part was the correct one, and ordered it, and it waited forever for it to get that, and finally got it, put it on, and I'm like, all right, this should be good to go. So turn everything back on, start the thing, and it starts to fire up, and then it starts making horrendous noises, and I look on the screen, because it's a touch screen, and it comes up with an error code, and I'm like, well, what the hell? So I look at and it just gives you like a 34 dash whatever error code, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So then I'm like, well, I don't know what this means. So I just look it up, and it online tells me that, well, the ignition module is failing, so it's not igniting the propane, or the natural gas, I should say. And so I'm like, well, shit. So now I need an ignition module. So I go to order an ignition module. And granted, the hose was like $200. Keep in mind. So there's that. So then I go to look at this ignition module, and it's like $450 for this ignition module. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch. So anyway, order the ignition module. It takes forever for it to get there. Finally comes in, and I replace the ignition module or whatever, and start up the oven. It all starts firing up. I can hear the water pump kick on, and I can hear the flames ignite, and then it starts making a terrible noise, and another error code comes up. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch, and it's a different one. So then I look it up, and it says, oh, your bottom, because there's two fucking blower motors on it, because inside the oven itself has two big ass fans that help circulate the heat and the steam, and they have motors that, obviously, apparently the lower one was bad. So I go to try and remove that, which I thought, well, this will be easy, there's a bunch of wires that plug into it, and it just, everything just unplugs, and there's two bolts that hold it in place, and I thought this shouldn't be too bad. So I go unbolt the two bolts, and I go to pull it out, and I can't. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I didn't realize that it doesn't just slide out off that wheel, and so I had to go on the inside of the oven, open up the panel to where I found the wheels, because I didn't know they existed at that time. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I go to try to pull the wheel off, because there's a nut on the very end, and I try to pull the wheel off, and it just will not come off. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch, why can I not get this stupid ass wheel off? And so I got to doing some research and found out that I have to have a flywheel puller, basically pull it off. And it's basically like a claw looking thing that it clamps on, and then you use a set screw and it pulls the wheel off. So I'm like, okay. So I talked to our HVAC guy. He's like, oh yeah, I got one. So I go to try and use that. Well, the set screw that he has, and every single one of them I can find on camp, the set screw was too big, and so it wouldn't do the job. Son of a bitch. So then I got doing more research. Well, apparently they made their wheel to where you have to order a specific tool from the company in order to get this wheel off. So I'm like, fuck. So, okay, well, I got to order the motor anyway. So I'll see what the tool costs and order it, Well, the tool was like $590 for the tool, and the motor is $2,500. God damn, this thing's expensive. So I ordered the motor and the tool, and the motor came within like 3 days, but the tool was on back order. And I just now today I started working on this oven in July, and today I finally got the tool. So I was able to get the wheel off, I replaced everything, got the motor on there. It took me about, 3.5 hours to get everything back into place, plug everything in, start it up, everything starts to turn on. I noticed that the green LED light on the bottom motor is on, so that tells me that it's working properly, unlike the other one, it was off, which tells me that it was fried. And the reason why all of the ignition module and the motor and everything went bad on it was because they decided, oh, it's a good idea to put all of the water above electronic stuff. So when it leaked, it all leaked down onto the electronic stuff, which had, boards and stuff in them that just fried. And so it makes them completely no good. So anyway, get everything back in, start it up, everything starts working fine, and then starts making a terrible noise, another error code, different error code. But it still relates to the bottom motor. So I'm like, well, it's a brand new motor. What the hell could it possibly be? And so I looked it up, and it said something about communication error. And so I looked up, did a little bit of research on it, and it said something about, well, it's most likely something to do with your bus cord, or your bus line, or your, your wiring. And it could mean it's either fried or it has corrosion or something and it's not getting connection. And so I had to trace wires for about an hour before I finally came across a connection that goes to the ignition module, and unplugged it and looked in there, and it was just gunked up with like greasy orange nasty shit. I'm like, well, maybe that's the problem. So then I went and got an electrical spray, sprayed it out, and I sprayed out a couple other connections and plugged it in and started it up, and everything works fine now. So if anybody out there needs work on their Rational oven, I might know a thing or two.
Because you've seen a thing or two.
I've seen a thing or two. Yep.
We were both ready for that one, apparently.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm still dying.
Mm-hmm.
The sickness.
That's why I'm trying to talk more so that
no,
you
I
don't
appreciate
have to
you.
talk as much.
No, it's okay. At least it doesn't hurt as bad today. There's a clip.
Right.
If you go to the Run the North YouTube channel and watch Monday mornings Sports at Sunrise,
Uh-huh.
that was the best I had sounded in 3 days. And it is bad. I feel bad for everyone who had to listen to me all weekend, and it was one person, but I still feel bad. I was fighting for my life, and I was losing.
Yeah.
Half the time I'd talk and words wouldn't exist. It would just be like,
yeah.
Oh, it was bad.
It wasn't last week, but it was the weekend before. I was dying, but at least I ended up sick on a weekend, so I didn't have to burn time.
Sure.
So
how was closing on your house?
I was good. I'm pretty sure we murdered half of the Amazon rainforest with all the paperwork I had to sign, but
that'll happen.
And it took us about, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to sign all the paperwork. And I mean, the stack of papers was literally like this thick that Aspen and I had to sign. And granted, we signed most of them online already. Like probably a good 70% of the paperwork was e-signed, which is awesome. Strongly recommend doing that if anybody ever goes to buy a house, because you just, accept your name or whatever, and then you just click and click and click and click, and you scroll and click and click. You just read through the stuff and click on it when you're done, and signs it for you, and you click OK, and it's all good to go. So it makes things a lot easier when it comes to actual physical signing day. But yeah, I officially own a house, and I have the keys, which is crazy because the bag of keys that I got, the small Ziploc bags or whatever, they're like this big. The lady's like, well, here's the keys, hands me the bag. It's halfway full of keys. I'm like, okay, what? I was expecting 4 pairs, a set of keys for the shop and a set of keys for the house. Where the rest of these keys go to?
Well, where do they go?
I don't know, but at least the guy, I haven't had a chance to go through them yet, but at least the guy took some string and some paper and labeled them, I guess. So hopefully I'll kind of know where some of them go. And then they didn't want to take their riding lawnmower, which they've only ever used one time. And they're like, well, I paid $2,000 for it. We'll sell it to you for $1,000. I'm like, well, we don't really have $1,000 to be, buying a lawnmower. Plus, we already have a lawnmower that works fine. And most of the time, we probably won't even use our riding lawnmower. It most likely just be our push mower because, our yard's not small, but it's not big enough to validate. It's there's a lot of stuff, a lot of fences, so it's hard to navigate around with a riding lawnmower. It's easier to just use a push mower. But I was like, they can go ahead and sell that to somebody else. I don't need another riding lawnmower. So
So
But-
they're gonna take it.
yeah. But we cannot move in until after the 11th. Though time of the possession date is not till after the 11th,
That's okay.
which is fine because the poor people are like in their 90s, and they hired a moving crew, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll be there on this date to help you move," and blah blah blah. And last minute they backed out on them, and so they felt terrible. They called and were like, "Would you be willing to give us an extra week to move our stuff out?" And I was like, "Well, what am I gonna do? Make 90-year-olds load a U-Haul?" I would help them myself, but I don't. You know me, I barely have time to play video games with you anymore.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So and the other thing that I feel bad about is their house that they were buying in that bigger town to the west of us. With the power plant, their house fell through over there, so they had to hurry up and try and find another house somewhere. So they found a house to the east of us, the bigger town to the east of us, not the big town, but the big, But anyway, yeah. So I felt bad for them. This has to be stressful to go through moving after being in the same place for 20 years and you're in your 90s,
Yeah.
But and the only real reason they're moving out of the house they're in now is because they aren't able to take care of the place. The yard's too big for them, and
Yeah.
So I feel bad for them, but it'll all work out, I'm sure.
So I don't know how much of the Twitch drama you saw. I'm sorry, I'm switching topics, but I saw something on Twitter that pissed me off.
None.
So there was the streamer at TwitchCon who got assaulted during her meet and greet. Amiru. Yeah. So there's this other streamer, Ms. Kiff. I've always thought he was a cunt, but apparently I was right. Shocker. It's almost like if your gut tells you somebody's weird, they're probably weird.
I'm pretty weird.
There's levels. So, because I don't just mean weird. Everybody's kind of, but like
I get it.
This guy's always been like, I've always thought he was a fucking loser. It just turns out I was right. So, yeah. For whatever reason, after she got assaulted, he decided to bring up, so they had dated, and he kind of blamed her for it, and then was talking some shit, and then she came out and was like, yeah, when we dated, he assaulted me a lot, and everybody's like, oh, that tracks, and he goes on stream to defend himself, and he's like, yeah, I would yell and throw stuff and punch holes in walls and whatever, but she needs to not act like she wasn't a problem too. She would throw stuffed animals at me.
He
that's said all of those words. But today he's suing Emmy for defamation. Dog, you said everything. You caused this.
You can't sue somebody for defamation after you've admitted to doing it. That's not how this works.
Oh my God.
The point of defamation is the fact that somebody is defaming you over something you didn't do.
Yeah.
Or allegedly did.
Yeah.
But hasn't been proven.
I was going to say, and it's definitely not defamation as long as I just say allegedly. Then I can say whatever the fuck I want. Technically, it's a really cool loophole.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. But yeah, that's fucking crazy. I saw that and it's like, what the fuck do you mean? Seeing yeah, I used to get angry and yell and punch holes in walls, but she threw stuffed animals at me.
She's exactly correct in what she is saying, but she
threw a stuffed animal at me once.
Bad by throwing.
It's crazy.
That's like saying I was assaulted because somebody tickled me with a feather.
Well, maybe.
I guess it depends on the context, but
Yeah.
had me chained up.
Well, and I mean, technically, just anybody touching you that you don't want to, technically,
Right.
by definition, is so.
Right.
Technically.
Right.
That's still
Yeah.
ridiculous. I don't understand. I
People be
can't wait
crazy.
for that in court. But Your Honor, she threw plushies at me. Oh my
I
God.
forgot to mention they were filled with rocks.
Right? Like, is that going to be what you add later? Oh, I got to go get my Steam Deck. Say words.
Oh, okay. I don't know what words to say. Every time he does this to me, it's like, well, part of the point is I'm having a conversation with him. So then when he leaves, I'm not good at talking to myself. So unless it's in my head, but that's besides the point.
What's besides the point?
Oh, I was just telling him that when you leave, I'm not very good at talking to myself
Yeah.
unless it's in my head. But that's besides the point.
I got a Steam Deck. See, it's like see-through. It's
Oh,
dark, but
that's
you
kinda
can
weird.
see all the stuff. So you can like see the light, at least from the front. You can see the light shining through the corners because there's nothing in the corners. Very weird. I have a Steam Deck now. I have so far played like 45 minutes of Fallout 4 on it. I haven't had a lot of time.
I hear you there.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm still working on stuff. But yeah, I have a Steam Deck now. Couldn't pass it up for the price.
I'll be a very happy person when I'm out of this house and into the new one and situated.
Yeah, man, I don't think that's going to give you more time to play games.
No, but like I don't have time as it is, and now I gotta find time to try and move.
Yeah, that's fair.
And but I'm so ready to be out of this house. I'm tired of having to duct tape my windows to keep rain and snow out, and
That's crazy.
also the floor jacks are rotten, so like in the floor the tile is splitting because the floor is sagging. It's rough. I mean, it is a trailer house from like the late 70s, early 80s, so I mean, what do you expect? But I don't know.
I totally forgot. Because you don't have an iPhone, you're one of the only people who doesn't know that I switched phones.
To
Google Pixel 10.
Yeah. So far, Aspen is loving her Pixel.
I was going to say, it's been great so far. So when I went to look at them, I was very upset. They didn't have a Pixel Fold for me to look at, which is like fine because I didn't really need to spend that much on a phone. I almost still got a Z Fold 7. I don't know how, but when folded, that thing is like the same size as this phone, like thickness wise. When unfolded, that shit is thinner than a pencil and it doesn't break. Like, there's a video of a guy who is probably stronger than both of us trying to snap it, and you can watch the glass on the back of the phone separate from the phone, but nothing ever breaks. I don't know what kind of fucking witchcraft they used to hold that shit together, but it's ridiculous. But I was like, it was like $2,000. And I was like, I had been using my Fold more primarily for a bit. And I was just like, there's not really that many use cases where the Fold is that nice.
Right.
Because it's not that much better for watching content. And I don't do two things at once on my phone that often. Because if I need to be doing more than one thing at once, I get a computer. Because
fair enough.
That's smarter. So
Yeah,
yeah,
fair enough.
but it has just been much better than I was expecting so far, which is nice. But yeah, I was just like, I guess I'm gonna get a Pixel, and it was the first time I'd ever upgraded my phone where I was just like, I'm not really excited. I just need to
Right.
not be using my other phone. And like, it's still not that exciting. It just functions, and that's
Mhm.
been good enough for me.
Right. That was Aspen's thing. Like her last phone, I don't know what it was about it. It was just ass.
Yeah.
Since the day she got it, it just never really worked quite like it should. I think it was a defective phone since day one. So now she's actually got a functioning phone. So it's like, yeah, it's a little bit different. The layout, a little bit,
Yeah.
buttons and stuff, taking some getting used to. But other than that, she's not used to like typing and it actually types out. So like her old phone, she'd type, and the words would show up. Type, and the words would show up.
Dude, the battery functioning for an entire day and no longer having to send messages like 4 messages at a time has
Right.
made it worth it. Like, that's good enough for me. I don't care.
Yeah. 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 And that's crazy part is Aspen's phone was performing worse than my phone, and I've had my phone since 2020. So pretty crazy. Her phone's like 2 or 3 years old. Mine's like 5 years old.
So when you upgrade, is it also going to be Pixel time?
I don't know when is gonna be.
That's fair.
Because Aspen, the only reason why she was able to get hers is because she's on her family plan and they have upgrades still.
Sure.
And they weren't quite ready for an upgrade yet, but
Well,
they allow us to pay off the difference, so it was only like
I was going
$300.
to say, technically yours does too, but that's the thing is it's no longer an upgrade. It's just a credit card bill, basically. They just add $50 to your bill every month,
Mm-hmm.
which
Right.
sucks.
So our family plan that I'm on with my folks, they opted out of that. So we literally do not have upgrades.
Gotcha.
So when I go to get a phone, I have to pay full price for the phone or do the payment plan or whatever. But so yeah, I don't know. I'm glad she got a new phone though. So
Yeah.
my poor S21, I think. It'll last another year, hopefully.
Probably. It'll be fine.
The poor battery is getting a little weak on it, but
That is the entire reason I got a new phone, because I was just going to wait another year. But, dude, the battery on my other phone, I would wake up, do all the stuff on my phone in the morning, take a shower while, like, listening to music, and by the time I sat down for work, my phone would be at 30%.
Yep.
Like, it's just, I couldn't.
Mine's not quite that bad yet, but
it's like, I have to rely on my phone to get me everywhere and to do things. So it's like, I need it to function better than that.
Right.
Unsafe.
I rely on my phone for like security reasons when I'm up on hunting on the mountain because I'm alone a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my only lifeline. If I go down with a broken leg or, heaven forbid something else happens, and that's my only lifeline. That's all I have.
Yep.
And usually what I do is there's places where I know there's no service, so I usually turn my tracker on my GPS on my Onyx, and other people have my account. So like if I ever go missing, they know about the area I'm at. They can go on Onyx and go, oh, his phone is right here, so we can look for him there. And most likely, you find the phone, you're gonna find me. So, yeah. Anywho, I seen the Vikings one.
Yeah.
Feel good to have McCarthy back.
Did. I don't know. Football. I'm mad at today. trade deadline day, and a bunch of teams that aren't that good made big moves, and my team did nothing. The Bills did nothing.
Yeah, I'm on the same. Pretty much the majority of AFC didn't fucking do shit. So
Colts did a lot.
Well, yeah, but yeah. But besides that, the Patriots, who are, seemingly legit, have problems they need to address, didn't do nothing. Bills obviously have problems they need to address, did nothing. Kansas City did nothing. Baltimore, kinda. They at least
Nothing
did something.
Important.
Yeah. Who else? Denver? Nothing.
Right? Very odd.
It's kind of weird. Like, I felt pretty pissed off that they didn't go after, like, Chris Olave or Rashid Shaheed, and then seeing how, Shaheed only went for, like, a 4th and a 5th round pick.
Yeah. And Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars for nothing.
Right. Which I liked the idea, Shaheed, just because, honestly, all we really need is somebody that's really fast to make him a deep threat, because the Bills have no deep threat. And so people are literally just crunching. They're just, bringing their safeties into the box because they literally don't have anything to worry about as far as the deep threat goes. So it would open up our offense a lot by having some speed out there, like Shaheed. I think I would have liked Olave a little better, but I don't think they were really looking to trade him. But everybody has their price.
Yeah.
But I really thought Shaheed was the guy we were gonna go get, and then to see, I know that the Bills tried to pick up some people because they restructured contracts and got a little bit more cap space, but they just, I guess, didn't get the guy they wanted and went, nope, that's too expensive, and we'll just stick with what we got. And I think that's gonna hurt us quite a bit. I know Gabe Davis is probably coming back. Palmer will probably come back, which will help. They're not bad. I mean, Davis is probably going to be one of our faster backs, but our faster receivers. But I don't know. Maybe the Bills coaching was just like, well, we have an elite running back, probably one of the best in the league. So we'll just lean on him. But God forbid he gets hurt. Which I guess he did tweak his ankle a little bit during the Chiefs game.
Nice.
But it is crazy to me to think that Josh had a career, like a Bills career high completion percentage, all in the same time that Mahomes had his lowest completion percentage of his career, and it was only a 7-point game.
Yeah, but look, you beat them in the regular season, so you're going to lose to them in the playoffs again.
If they make the playoffs, I get it. They're probably going to make the playoffs.
But
also,
like 5-4. Let's stop acting like the Chiefs are bad. They're 5-4, and the Chargers just lost their season.
Right, but
with Joe Alt, Justin Herbert's pressured like 12% of the time. Without him, it's 48. Joe Alt's out for the season. Justin Herbert just died. Season's over. Roll it up.
Right. But I mean, the Chiefs have to play some tough teams too yet. So I'm sure they're going to be in the playoffs. But there's this is the first year we've had where it's like, if the Chiefs lose some key games, they could just, Jacksonville creeps up or whoever.
So outside of their division, they play the Colts, who aren't a real football team, the Cowboys, who aren't a real football team, the Texans, who aren't a real football team, the Titans, who aren't a real football team. The Chiefs are going to be the 1 seed again. It's inevitable.
I don't know about the 1 seed. They got a lot of winning to do for the 1 seed.
But That's also the thing, right? You just said Mahomes had looked the worst he had in basically forever, and it's only a 7-point game. You're not beating him in the playoffs.
Right.
It's over.
I can just hope that they don't make the playoffs.
That's fair. I don't know what the Vikings are going to do.
Well, and it makes me wonder how the seeding's going to work. Are we going to play each other?
AFC Championship game and you lose.
Right.
Because weirdly, the Bills are going to go in as a wild card team.
Which is crazy because they're probably going to have a fairly decent record and still.
I mean, the Chiefs might too.
Kind of like the Vikings last year.
Yeah, the Chiefs might be a wild card team too, to be honest.
Right.
But ain't nobody afraid of Denver.
My thing is if we what's the crazy part? Every time we win in the regular season. But you also look, every time we play them in the regular season, it's usually at home, and we win. But every time we go to Kansas City, we get beat. And I think home advantage makes a big difference. And so if we could just somehow sneak out a 1 seed for the Bills and have home advantage, I think that might help.
Nah.
Just let me hope, okay?
No. I don't have any hope, so why should you get some?
I don't know. The Vikings could.
Doug, we're in last place in our division at 4-4, which is crazy.
A 4-4 is. I mean, you could get a wild card pretty easily from as long as you win.
Well, so here, let's look at that. Teams with a better record: the Niners, Rams, Seahawks, Panthers, Bucks, Bears, Lions, Packers, Eagles. There are 10 teams actively with a better record than that in the NFC because the NFC has real football teams. Unlike the AFC. I don't care. Well, look at the Colts. That's not a real football team. They've played 2 real football teams and got shithoused both times. They're not real. I will buy into the Colts the minute they get a quarterback that's not Daniel Jones. And the Steelers don't look like a real team. The Ravens and Bengals flaws are huge. Every team is super beatable in the AFC right now. The Broncos are 7-2. The Broncos fucking suck. They do. I don't know what to tell you. I know they keep barely beating the Titans. They keep having to have a 30-point comeback against the Giants without their best play. Like, just because they keep having one okay quarter of football a game doesn't mean they'll beat anybody when it matters. Because they won't, because Sean Payton's a bad coach. But I don't know. Dude, I think I've decided that the Rams are winning the Super Bowl, and it's not going to be particularly close. Stafford's the best quarterback in football at this exact moment, and it's not particularly close. The Rams have a good defense. They have great weapons. They have a great coach. I don't think anybody on either end really matches up well against them. I kind of fear the Rams sweep is coming. LA winning another championship because they need that. Fucking pieces of shit.
The Vikings are going to go on a run. They're not going to get beat from now on.
I'd love that.
They're going to make it to the Super Bowl. Somehow the Bills get to the Super Bowl.
Well,
and the Vikings lose in the Super Bowl to the Bills.
Wonder the decision at least a bit comes down to this week's game. So there's this weird stat. The Vikings have played the Ravens 7 times in their history. They're 3-4. The 3 times they've beat the Ravens, they've proceeded to go to the NFC Championship game that year. The 4 times they've lost to the Ravens, they fired their coach at the end of the season.
Oh.
So Sunday, we're figuring out which fucked up thing is happening.
We still have answers at the end of Sunday.
I will have an answer. I'm so positive KOC is not getting fired no matter what, but it's just That's a weird stat that happens ever. Like something happens, one of those two things happens no matter what. That's really weird.
Right.
Win that game and I'm going to be the most delusional motherfucker. It's written in the stars.
The Bills have me fucking frustrated because every week I wonder, it doesn't matter what game it is, I wonder if we're going to go in there, you know, as a legit Super Bowl contender or if we're going to be the worst team of football. I just feel like there's no in between.
Well, it's because Josh Allen's been back to being Josh Allen.
I mean, he played pretty good this last game.
Right. But in the 4 games before that, he looked worse than every other quarterback in football for no reason. I don't know if 4 is the correct number, but you know what I mean. The Falcons game, there have been the Saints game where he just looks like he doesn't want to be there. And he does that immediately, which, well, it's a thing. You definitely notice sometimes. I don't know why this only got brought up for Lamar, the like helmet slam and then being out of the game. Honestly, taking yourself out of the game is better than what Josh does. Because, like, the game gets a little out of hand, and you'll just see Josh Allen on the sidelines looking down, and then he goes into the game and just immediately is like, all right. He takes one snap, throws it to the other team, and then just shrugs his shoulders and walks off the field like, I don't want to be here anymore. He just it's the fakest quit of all time. Like, he didn't quit, but he quit. He's like, we lost. I don't care. I'm done. There are just games where he just is like, no, I don't want it anymore. And it's really funny.
I almost wonder if sometimes it's like pettiness towards the coaching.
Maybe.
Because, like, I feel like he wants to do things, and they're just like, no, you're going to play it safe. And he's like, but that's not how I play.
Right.
Because if you've noticed, I don't think I've ever seen the Bills throw screens as much as I've ever seen them this year. It's like, that's not what Josh does. He rolls out of the pocket, scrambles, and throws it 50 yards down the field to an open receiver. That's what he does. He doesn't do this, spike the ball, throw it down the line of scrimmage to Shakir, and then get a 3-yard gain, and then do the same fucking play right over again, only go the other direction, and it gets 2 yards, and now it's 3rd and 5, and you have to fucking try and do something. That would get frustrating to me.
Sure.
At least we have James Cook to bail us out every once in a while. But that's about all I'd say we got going for us as far as play calling. But also, it doesn't help that you have like a team full of, you know, wide receiver number 3s. So Palmer looked like he was going to do something and looked like he was going to have a breakout year. Then he gets hurt.
Yeah. Fair.
Kincaid looked like he was finally going to be the first round pick we all hoped he was. Gets hurt. Now he's back. He's doing good. But still. Football be footballing.
Football do be footballing sometimes.
I just need New England to somehow lose a couple games. I don't know what team they're going to do that to, but they almost did it against the Falcons.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to zone out of football talk because I literally have to go record an entire thing talking about football in 20 minutes. I don't want to double football today. So sorry.
It's not that hard for you because most of the time when you talk to the other people about football, they say dumb stuff. So it's easy to like.
Well, no, this time it's just like going over most of the stuff we were just kind of talking about because it's the morning news one, not the full podcast one.
Well, fuck those guys. I get to talk football too.
No.
Yes.
No. You don't.
It's the only time I get to actually talk to somebody that actually knows something about football.
That's fair.
And I don't know that much, but like trying to talk football with my coworkers or
fair.
I love you, Aspen, but Aspen, who could care less about football.
Real. I understand that one. Though I don't. I understand it. Like my conversations, I can't go that in depth because she doesn't know, but she does get all interested when I start speaking about it. She just doesn't know, which is then fun because I get to, teach her the proper ways.
Right. Well, it's not that Aspen's not interested in what I have to say about football, but she's just like,
Yeah, that's fair.
Just nod and look pretty.
The fuck was I gonna say though? Oh, nothing. That I'll tell you that one in a minute. Yeah, I don't know. Football's weird. I'm still not at a point where I feel like I understand what the fuck's going on this year yet. Which is weird because we're like 10 weeks in, but also like.
Yeah, it feels weird with the Colts being the top of the league as well as the Broncos, and nothing's going the way anybody thought it was going to.
And it's like I'm right about who these teams are. They're like not good and whatever, but.
Well, you got to look at how many of these fucking teams that are leading the league and how many soft ass games they've had.
Yeah. So many teams like the Colts, like so many teams feel like the 2022 Vikings. Right. So like, the team that lost to the Giants in the playoffs because they got there by only beating bad teams plus the Bills. They had to get the one in there. Yeah. But that one didn't really feel like it was that was the greatest game of all time. But you don't walk out of that feeling like a Super Bowl contender. You walk out of that like, what the fuck did we just do?
You walk out of there wishing it was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Fucking entertaining as shit. But like, and also some of these teams that like won against good teams, but also their like starting quarterback was out and half their defense is injured.
Right. Or like this week, like my game picks this year have been weird, but it's like this week we've got Falcons at Colts. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Colts are a real team, but which Falcons defense is going to show up? The one that showed up against Minnesota and Buffalo, or the one that showed up against Carolina? Because are the Falcons going to stop Jonathan Taylor? I don't know. In my head, the Falcons are the better team, but will they be?
Well, you can count on them blitzing over 50%. So
yeah, but like that might go bad against Jonathan Taylor. Like I don't know.
Well, I mean, just make them be one-dimensional. Obviously, Jones is your least threat out of Jonathan Taylor, so I would just Jonathan Taylor is your most important person you need to stop. So choose your defensive calls according to Jonathan Taylor. Stop the run. Make him one-dimensional. Make Daniel Jones have to throw the ball, and then make him throw 6 interceptions again, just like he did the last game. He just did.
And then I have to cheat and just start. I've decided picks-wise, I'm just going to start picking against the Vikings, so I'm either right or I'm happy.
It's kind of how I felt if I ever did that with the Bills. I'd always just pick against the Bills.
See, I've always just picked the Vikings because I feel like I have to, but I don't know. Picking against them last week worked. I was happy.
It's like how much it hurts me to play Patrick Mahomes over any other quarterback when he's playing the Bills, because it's like, well, it hurts me to do this because I know he's going to kill us.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The Seahawks seem to be pretty all right.
True.
Sam Darnold looking pretty okay. We'll see what happens when a game matters.
We'll see what happens when he gets to the playoffs if he makes it. So,
yeah. But it is really annoying right now because it's everybody like, why didn't we just keep Darnold? It's like, just give it a minute. Right. Please.
I was about to say, he was shining last year with the Vikings too. And what happened?
Yep.
Darnold remembered, oh shit, I'm not a good quarterback.
No, and I think Darnold's a good quarterback, and he might even get better in the playoffs. It's what I was talking about. Like, I do feel bad because that was his first ever real football game that mattered. And so, like, it does suck to judge him based solely off that. But also, the entire reason you wanted JJ was because he's played a lot of those games that mattered. And
right.
Again, look at the performances against Detroit. We've seen one of JJ and two from Sam. Which one performed well against the team that you need to beat? That's it. That's the answer. Which one of them didn't get frazzled by the pressure from Aiden Hutchinson? That's it. That's the answer.
And people like to forget the fact that JJ is a rookie, basically. So
that was his third start. He joins Patrick Mahomes and Dan Marino as the only two quarterbacks to ever win 2 divisional road games in their first 3 starts.
Mm-hmm.
Weird stat, I know, but I saw it earlier.
Still, it matters.
Yeah, it's like it's not like he's had the easiest beginning to his career.
Right. Well, and not only that, it's not like the Lions aren't a high-powered fucking team. They're one of the most high-powered teams in the league right now. So for you guys to go out there. And then I seen where his quote or whatever afterwards, where he basically said that he still felt like there was some meat on the bones or something.
Yeah, he said there's a lot of meat on the bones. He said, and I quote, "I don't feel like I played particularly well." And he's right. There's a YouTube channel. It's called the QB School. It's ran by Chase Daniel, who was a career backup in the NFL, but he just like breaks down quarterback film. And I was watching him talk about JJ, and there's a couple plays like very early on where like as soon as he throws the ball, like he just hits the check down, right? But then he immediately sees like wide open guy down the field and points him out. Like that's a thing that you normally don't see till film review because you just missed it. And he's seeing it in game like, fuck, there was meat on the bone right there. I have to be better.
Right.
I don't know. I have confidence that I don't, like I've said before, I don't think JJ will ever be Josh Allen. I do think at his peak he could be Stafford.
Right.
Which is pretty damn good. More realistically, he'll be, not Stafford and someone a little farther down that list, but like we got to give the 22-year-old rookie a chance, please. Thanks.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Apparently I'm a weirdo for believing people should do okay.
It's true. I mean, he's your quarterback, so you gotta, even if he's not playing well, you gotta encourage and put faith behind him, and you're not helping your team out at all by saying they're shitty and terrible and blah blah blah, because believe it or not, these players are humans and they have social media and they see what people say online about them. They know, trust me, they know they're doing bad. They don't need you coming in here shitting on their parade too.
Right. That's super fair. Yeah, I don't know. Ugh. I'm tired, Grandpa.
Okay, let's go take a nap.
I don't get to. I got another podcast to record.
That sucks.
And I should probably continue reading this really confusing book. You ever want to make your brain hurt? It's called House of Leaves. And so, you know how Game of Thrones is written from like the perspective of different characters, but it's like a chapter by chapter thing. So like this chapter's from John's point of view, this one's from Ned's. Well, this book has 2 different narrators. I read like 2 chapters before realizing I needed to restart because I couldn't understand what was going on. It's because the narrators will interrupt each other during the chapter.
Oh.
And that got very confusing. And like there is a way to know because like the font changes, but that's certainly interesting because I just wasn't paying enough attention. And then like later in the book, it gets really weird. I gotta find a page where it starts doing that. But yeah, like the writing changes places or shapes, or like you get this where the words are like spread out all over the page, and then suddenly it's like broken up like that, and then suddenly you have to rotate the book, and then there's one page, I've just seen it. I don't know where it's at, but it's like there's one block of text in the middle and then text wrapping around it in different directions, and it's like that's a lot.
Bro was just straight up high as shit when he made this book.
Maybe. It's very interesting though, but it's an interesting book to read. Once I knew there was multiple narrators, it became a lot easier. Like for the first chapter or two, I was like, what the fuck is happening? None of this tracks. I was like, oh, these fonts are different. And it's like, oh, I'm stupid. Yeah. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah. The worst part about that stupid ass oven is it had fiberglass
Oh, so you're all itchy.
everywhere. Yeah, I am like all up my arms, my face, my legs.
Did you shower
Just
after work?
itchy. I haven't showered yet, and that's
Ugh.
what I plan on doing. But still, like, just that's why my face and eyes are so irritated, is because it was like, because it's fiber, it's like the insulation type fiberglass, and it insulates the heat of the oven, and so it's heated up and cooled off, heated up, cooled off, so it's super, like, when you touch it, you can just see it kind of plume up into the air. That's how fine and dry it is. And it just sticks to moisture, which you're sweaty, and then you just itchy everywhere.
Love that.
Yeah. That part was annoying.
I bet.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else I've done. But there's really not.
Oh, for future podcasts,
Oh?
for at least a couple of weeks, we can podcast on Mondays again if you are available. We lost in the first round of the tournament again, so we got 3 or 4 weeks before the second half of the season starts again. So
Gotcha. Fair. May do that. Though Tuesdays might be easier anyways for me.
it's up to you. I don't care.
We'll
Either
see.
way.
So I guess I've been talking about redoing my schedule. I think I know what I'm going to do. I've spent so long trying to get OBS to work, it just won't. Not for what I am trying to do. So I think my streams will end up just being Music Monday, the D&D stuff on Friday, and then I think I'm going to do, I haven't decided if it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday, but one of those two as just today I play games with friends or whatever, since if I'm going to be making videos on all the story stuff, playing story games is different, so it'll just be like fun friends game day. And maybe after football season I'll do Sundays. I don't know. We'll see what I feel like when football season's over. But yeah, so it'll be 3 streams so that I can go to focus on video, because that's going to be a lot more work now. But it'll be better, I think. I am trying to decide, and I guess I'll put this out there and people can give me opinions. I'm thinking about going through and privating all of my old videos that aren't in the style I'm wanting to do on my main channel. Just getting rid of them. Creating another channel that is just like an archive to put all the old videos on. And maybe not all of them. Go through, find the ones where the audio sucks and just yeet them. Find the ones that are just irrelevant and yeet them. And like, I'm never going to delete them. They'll just be private on my channel, so I still have access to them. But like, some of it just doesn't fucking matter. You know?
Right.
It's like all the funny ones, have them still exist, just on a separate channel that is existing just to be that. Have that channel only have those. You know, have the Let's Plays channel, have all the Let's Plays. Because I did make another YouTube channel already, because I think it'll be every 2 weeks I'll do a main channel, like, big video. That's the hope. Once a month, every 2 weeks, something like that. Do the main channel video. Do once a week having, like, a Let's Play video. So, like, just playing through a game or just, you know, funny moments from gaming that week or whatever. Once a week doing that. I don't know. I just want to make YouTube work because Twitch is pissing me off and freaking me out, but I'll tell you about that some other time.
Right.
Maybe. It was a weird conversation. Life was weird for a bit.
Yeah, well, yep, that's life for you.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think I've got my plan figured out. I'm just trying to sit on it and, I don't know, see if it feels right.
Just trying to verify it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. But hopefully I stop dying. Jesus. But all right, I guess for the podcast, that'll do it for us. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.